Okay, so welcome back. Now we start to get into what are some of the harder problems, where we have not just an exponent problem, not just a multiplication problem, but an exponent, stuff being raised to exponents and being multiplied, and we're dealing with negative exponents. So we're just going to take this a piece at a time. So remember, the way we handle this is this stuff here is being raised to the negative third power. So we're going to take each thing raised to the negative third power. So we're going to begin 6 to the negative third. Can't really do anything with that right now. Just going to kind of hang on to it. It's not negative 18 or anything like that. We'll deal with it a little bit later. Now when it comes to x to the fifth raised to the negative third, remember with exponents we multiply. We're going down one level. From exponents down to multiply with the exponents. So 5 times 3 would make that x to the negative 15th. And then y to the second raised to the negative third, 2 times 3 would be y to the negative 6th. We then go over to our next piece here. And I have 4 raised to the second power. Is the first thing that I have there. Well, since 4 is raised to a positive power, I can go ahead and do that. If you want to write it as 4 to the second and then deal with it later, you can. Or we can go ahead and simplify it. The thing with the negative exponent, though, we just kind of have to hold on to. And then x to the negative 6th raised to the second, negative 6 times 2 would be x to the negative 12th. And then y to the third raised to the second, 3 times 2 would be y to the 6th. So now we've done our multiplication. Now we've done our, not multiplication, our exponents. Now we can do our multiplication. So we put like with like. So I go ahead here and I'm going to underline the x's. And the y's, I'm not going to put the numbers together yet because I have that negative exponent. So I can't really multiply those yet. So I'm going to hold off on the negative exponent on the number till the very end of the problem. If it really makes you uncomfortable and you want to go ahead and deal with that now by moving the number, the 6 to the negative third, and writing it as 1 over 6 to the third, you certainly could do that. But here I'm just going to leave my numbers alone for the moment and then focus on my x's and my y's. So I have an x to the negative 15th and an x to the negative 12th. So I go ahead here and I'm going to add my exponents because I'm multiplying. Negative 15 plus negative 12 gives me x to the negative 27th power. And then I come y to the negative 6th, y to the 6th. We can do, oops, went too far. Maybe 1 second here. That should be x to the negative 27th power. And then y to the negative 6th times y to the 6th would be y to the 0. If you wanted to go ahead and write down 1, you certainly could do that. I'm just going to write it down as y to the 0 for the moment, and then we'll come back to it. So at this point, I'm going to take everything that has a negative exponent and move it. So I moved my 6 to the negative third down to the bottom, and then 6 to the third is 6 times itself 3 times. And that's how I get 216. The 16 stays put because it had a positive exponent. The x to the negative 27th moves to the bottom. And y to the 0, again, remember that is 1. There is one final thing that we need to do here, and that is some simplifying. I have the 16, the number on top, and the 216 in the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead here and do some of my little birthday cake division here, writing my 16 and 216 beside each other. And first thing I see here is I can take a 4 out of both, so I did that. And after I've done that, I notice, hey, I can take a 2 out of what's left, getting me down to 2 and 27, which I can't simplify any further. And so that's going to simplify to be 2 over 27. 16 over 216 will now become 2 over 27. And then we write that answer out. So the final answer here is 2 over 27x to the 27th power.